What's up, y'all? What is up? It's your girl EJ, and welcome to the Rewatch Recap, where we're going to be talking about The Family Business Season 1, Episode 3. Let's get into it, y'all. Okay, y'all, so this episode is going to open up with your boy LC. He is going to show up to the address that your boy Sal Dash has sent him to, looking for the Roadster and his product, of course. Meanwhile, Orlando and Paris are going to show up and give LC the news that your boy Miguel has been killed. And of course, he's going to think that it was Orlando, but he's going to be like, nah, it wasn't me. And then he's going to point at Paris like he basically sold his sister out quick. But anyway, LC is going to flip his ish, y'all. Like, he is going to go off on Paris. Now, we all know that Paris is like LC's favorite child. And I know, they say you shouldn't have a favorite child, but, I think sometimes parents kind of sort of has one that they, tend to lean towards a little bit more. And Paris just happens to be his, child. But in this moment, he is angry with her, and he's more so angry with the fact that he knows that her actions has directly led to the fact that her brother may not come home at this point. And that's on him, you know what I'm saying? Because he sent him there. So if y'all want to see the clip, I actually have uploaded that clip as a short, as a reel, and as a TikTok. So if you follow me on any of those other platforms, you can definitely see that clip there. Now, y'all already know I couldn't add it to this video. So anyway, y'all, Paris is going to see a shooter, and she's going to push LC out of the way. Her and the fella's going to take the men out. Orlando is going to find a card that has Alejandro's name on it, his name and his number on it. And of course, he's going to assume that it was him who ambushed them. And this ambush actually left your boy Lucia, and LC has been shot, and he is in bad condition, y'all. Now, Sal is going to call Harris, and he wants him to come talk to him. Chippy is highly upset with LC right now because Vegas has already snitched his daddy out, and he's told Chippy about Rio. So she keeps calling, but he's not answering. And she is going off on him, but we all know that he's been shot, which is the reason why he hasn't been calling. He is actually not avoiding her calls, which, he probably don't want that call anyway. So anyway, y'all, your boy LC is going to be taken to like this underground type of hospital situation where Miss Brewer is going to be taking care of him. And she is going to tell them that, the next 24 hours are going to be crucial, and that if they believe in God, that they need to pray. And then your boy Orlando kind of sort of makes a little threat to her. It felt threat-ish. He was like, if you believe in God, you need to pray. And I was like, okay, Orlando, I see you. Anyway, he still had the doggone toothpick in his mouth, y'all. Like, seriously, him and this toothpick. So anyway, y'all, Orlando has the unfortunate job of having to go tell Chippy about LC. And, she's just like, we've been together for 38 years and he's always called me back. Now, y'all, 38 years, that is definitely some relationship goals. I'm just saying. So anyway, your boy Orlando knows that he has to take the next step. He knows that he has to go and get his brother. So he is going to send Paris to get Rio, and she's going to do some recon, and, she's going to find them. And then your boy Alejandro is going to let Rio go out because, of course, in good faith, Orlando has said he's going to bring Miguel back. So he's like, look, I'm going to loosen the reins and you can go out. And it's just so funny, this interaction that Rio is having. And in this moment, you realize, 100% that Rio was the right person to send. This is something that Junior nor Orlando could have pulled off, but Rio's personality, how funny he is, how he's so personable and able to really, just be himself no matter what environment he's in, is the reason why he was the best person to go and, take on this mission and be Alejandro's, basically his collateral, I guess you could say, So anyway, y'all, LC is going to end up waking up, and meanwhile, Paris is going to make it to the club that Rio is at. Now, Rio, of course, is getting turned up, and it's just funny, these interactions that he's having with these guards, because he's making them feel highly uncomfortable, but Rio is just being himself, but they just ain't feeling Rio. Now, anyway, you are going to notice that your girl Paris is going to come in, and she's going to kind of scope out things, and she's going to go and put that needle in one of the guards' neck. You are going to notice that your boy Rio must have saw Paris when he says, when he kind of pats the guard on the chest and is like, kind of takes off, which means that he must have saw Paris and he must have known what was up. Now they are going to meet outside and then they're going to take off. Now Alejandro's men, of course, are going to be coming after them, and there is going to be a whole little shootout. Now, Alejandro is going to call Orlando and he's going to just straight up threaten him. He's like, look, little boy, like, I don't know who you think you messing with, but this is a man's game. I don't know who you think I am. You know, something similar to that. But anyway, he's going to tell Alejandro that he knows that, what he did to his father, that his father is fighting for his life. And Alejandro is like, look, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know nothing about this ambush. I don't know anything about that. The only person I gave my car with my number to was Sal. And in this moment, I think that's when they are going to realize that Sal has been orchestrating this entire thing this entire time and that he has been playing them. And Orlando is like, look, call off your men. Let me figure this out. Let my sister and brother live. So, Alejandro, of course, is going to grant him that. Now, keep in mind, Orlando is not letting it out the bag that your boy Miguel is dead, because he already knows that it's over for Paris and Rio if that little piece of information comes out. So meanwhile, Sal is going to be lollygagging with Lee and Ron Sims when Harris is going to show up, and he's going to form these good old traitors that LC is not dead indeed. And, there's no need for the little toast that they're trying to have for LC. And then Sal is going to go off on Harris, and I do mean he goes off on him, and he's going to be like, look, I need you to get this done. And he's going to hand him a gun, and basically tell him to kill LC. Meanwhile, your boy Niles is lurking in the background, and Sal's going to give him $20K just to stay around, just in case Harris fails. Now, if you don't remember who Niles is going to be the guy that Paris is going to be totally infatuated with. This is probably going to be her one true love, the only person that she actually cares about. She's the one that he's going to go out and visit him on vacation when her and Rio go on vacation in later episodes, just to give you some context. But anyway, so Niles is a hitman. And he wants him to stay around just in case, Harris can't get the job done. So anyway, y'all, your boy Harris is going to try to put a potato on the gun, and it's just not going to work. And then he's going to try a pillow. But then somebody walks in. I think London walks in, and she's like, oh, you really love him, don't you? And, she's just going on about, how he really, feels like he's one of the family. And he was just like, marrying into this family was like the best thing that ever happened. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, like, you are being so fake right now, Harris. Like, I cannot do this with you. Okay, y'all, so your girl London is going to go and pick up Mariah, and your boy Orlando is going to show up and tell LC that Sal has been playing them the entire time. Now, LC is going to ask Lou, like, look, what's your take on him, because you're the one who introduced him, as this is something that we do find out that Lou met Sal first and he made the intros. Now, look, he's just like, look, all I know is that I'll put a bullet in him. You know what I'm saying? So Lou don't care about none of the rest of that stuff. He just like, look, we can get it. So anyway, that gun that Harris had is going to fall out, and LC is going to peep game. You know what I'm saying? And Junior is going to tell him, like, look, that gun ain't ish. Like, you need to come and see me, and I'm going to get you a real gun, because what you got, that ain't going to do nothing. So anyway, y'all, LC is going to tell Harris, look, I'm not worried about Sal, because there's only so far that he can go without his political and distro contacts. And he's just like, look, what if he's already made them? And we all know that Harris already knows that he's made these contacts, before he even says this. So anyway, meanwhile, your girl London is picking up Mariah from school, and you are going to see that same dude who was trying to wash the car, whatever he was trying to do. You're going to see him pop up again. Now, your boy James, I believe, the security guy, he's going to jump out and he's going to try to get rid of him, only he's going to end up getting shot, because this, of course, is an ambush. This is a setup. Now, they are going to end up kidnapping Mariah, and your girl London is going to come in extremely frantic, and to be honest, this was probably one of my most favorite scenes, because I've watched this scene over and over again. It's just something about London running in there extremely frantic. At first you can hear her ask, she calls mom, and then she calls Harris, but when she sees that her father is awake, it's like, bump Harris, like, daddy, help me. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's going to her father because she wants his help. Even in this weakened state, even though we can see that he he's been shot, you know what I'm saying? She still runs to him for help, you know, to fix this particular problem. And so she's going to let him know like, hey, they took Mariah, you know, and he's like, look, Chippy, get my pants. Okay, y'all. So once they get the information pulled up, we're going to find out that Vinny Dash is Sal's oldest son, and he's said to be next in line. And then we're also going to find out that Sal actually has a favorite son too. His name is Antonio Dash, and he oversees the pornography and prostitution portion of the business, aka this is Tony, y'all, aka London's lover boy. And then your girl London is going to walk in, and she's going to see him, and she's going to say, hey, that's Tony, but his last name isn't Dash, it's Anderson. And Lou is like, nah, that's Tony Dash. Like, I've seen him before. And he's going to be like, but how do you know him? And then Harris is going to be like, yeah, London, how do you know him? And I'm just like, Harris, sit your little ass down. Junior is like right there. And he is like big, bro. You will not win this fight, even if you tried it. So anyway, she just kind of looks at Harris. But when her dad asks her, you know, she says, look, I've been spending time with him. And Harris is going to lose his ish, y'all. And Junior's going to have to like basically throw him over his shoulder like a sack of potatoes and kick him out. And he just like, look, do not let him back up in here. And then all I can hear is your boy Kennedy in the background talking about, look, I ain't never like him, no way. Okay, y'all. So meanwhile, your girl Lois is going to show up to visit LC. Now, she felt highly disrespected when she was at Sal Dash's home, when he kind of grabbed her and kissed her, like was all up in her personal space, and your boy Ronald Sims just kind of shrugs his shoulders like he didn't really care, and he didn't do anything or say anything. So it feels like your girl Lois felt a little way about that, and she's just like, look, I can be bought, I can be bribed. And you know, LC is going to give her an incredible amount of money, I think $1 million if I'm not mistaken, and she's basically going to spill all the secrets. She's going to tell where all the bodies are buried, you know. Now, if you don't remember, Lois is the councilman's chief of staff, so she definitely knows a lot. Okay, y'all, so your boy Harris is going to show back up, and LC is going to tell him that they need to go see a man about his daughter. Now, meanwhile, while this has happened, Chippy is delivering a little package to the councilman's wife, and turns out the councilman, Mr. Ronald Sims, he actually likes his girls pretty young, and I do mean really young, like 15 years old young. And so that's it for him, because she throws all those pictures and everybody sees that, and we can only imagine that the councilman's short-lived run for mayor is over with. Now, your boy Nevada is going to be delivering the nail in the coffin for that Lee dude. You know, turns out Lee has been doing a little bit of stuff on the side his own. He has been stealing money from his own family, and you already know in his culture, he has brought shame to the family, and he knows that the only thing left to do is to go ahead and take his own life, because it ain't no coming back from that. Now, the family is going to apologize to LC because they really didn't know anything about this. Now, meanwhile, your boy Orlando is going to visit Don Frederico, and he's going to deliver him a little package as well. And basically, he's going to tell him like, look, this needs to be done, you know, and pretty much you have to get permission in order to be able to take out somebody like Sal, you know, so that there isn't any type of war. And, you know, he does that whole kiss on the cheek thing, which typically means he agrees. So he has their blessing. So anyway, y'all, LC is having his little chat with Harris, and he's going to ask to see that gun. And he's going to be like, yeah, this really is a piece of ish, you know, unless you're planning on getting really close and personal, you know, with somebody, and, you know, you want to blow their brains out. And your boy Harris is going to end up spilling his guts about how he was supposed to kill him and all that good stuff. Meanwhile, your boy Junior, Kennedy, and London are going to go after Tony, you know, and London is going to warn Tony. She's going to be like, look, I don't want to kill you. But he just wouldn't listen. He's like, you know, Mariah is his ticket out of there. And I'm just like, bruh, I would listen if I was you. But he doesn't listen, and boom, he dead. And London shows us her skills. Now, your boy Kennedy is impressed. He's like, look, I didn't know she was cold with a gun like that. I knew about Paris. And then Junior's just going to be like, look, before there was a Paris, there was a London. You know what I'm saying? And for those who don't know, London was a part of the family business, but decided to settle down and do her thing, the family thing. So anyway, y'all, LC has Harris sweating, and I do mean sweating. Like, you can see all the sweat beads coming off of Harris's head. because he done had to spill his guts, and now he don't know what is finna happen. He don't know if he finna live or die or what's about to go on. But LC is gonna give him that gun back, and he gonna tell him that he gotta make a choice. He gotta make a decision, and he ain't got to say the words. Harris already know what's up. So Harris takes the gun. He goes into the house. He's gonna find Lou there, and he's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, to make sure, that what needs to happen happens. You know what I'm saying? And so, of course, all the security guys are all dead. Everybody up in there is gone. And Harris is going to go upstairs, and he's going to find your boy Sal tied up and gagged up. So he's going to take that tape off of his mouth. And we're going to learn some interesting things about your boy Harris at this point. So at this point, we are going to find out that Sal is actually Harris's father and how he really felt about his mom. I mean, he called his mom a whore, and he told him that he was a whore for the Duncans. I'm like, if you're trying to actually live, if you're trying to talk him into not killing you, this is probably not the way that you should do it. But of course, Sal is Sal, and your boy Harris has to grow up here, and he ends up killing Sal. I think it was easier as he kept hurling out those insults. I think Sal made it pretty easy for him to go ahead and do what he needed to do. So anyway, y'all, we're going to see Harris get back in the car, and he and LC are going to be having a conversation. And LC is just going to tell him that when they went into the family business, when Lou, Chippy, and himself went into this family business, that they made a pact, and that's why they all live together. That's why they stay so close together, because they made this pact basically to protect each other. And they knew that in order to do so, that they had to be as one, even if that meant that they were going to, get on each other's nerves. So if you're wondering why everybody seems to stay in the family, why they insist that everybody stay in the house, this is the reason why. Because in order to run this family business, they need to be one unit, and this is just, a way that they are able to do so. So anyway, LC is going to end up having to make the call. He's going to end up having to make this call to Alejandro that Miguel has died, and that he died helping save his daughter's life. Now, your boy LC is good with these lies, because he told that lie so good that I believed it. You know what I'm saying? And I saw what happened, but I still believed it. Now, going back for a second, your girl Ruby is going to leave your boy Orlando a note saying, you're right, your life is too complicated. And we all know how I feel about the character Ruby. Nothing has changed. Even looking at it in this moment, I think this is the moment when I decided that I didn't like Ruby. I didn't like how she moved, because he was gone for a long time, and his life is complicated, but her next moves just don't really make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Because you left one complicated man to go to a whole nother complication. But I mean, that's a whole nother story for another time, y'all. So anyway, y'all, Miguel's body is going to be delivered to Alejandro, and that is where this episode is going to end for us, y'all. Okay, y'all, so that's what's up with season 1, episode 3. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Go ahead and get the conversation started down below. Until next time, guys. Peace.